Yeah, this is gonna be a very controversial video. I can already tell. Guys, I want to be clear before I start that I am not bashing Trump. I am not saying Trump has been terrible or whatever. That's not the point of this video. And in fact, despite some of my issues that I have with Trump and his administration right now, I will still say he has been very good. He's been a very good president. And in fact, in some areas, he has done way more than I thought he was going to do.
We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
So he has been great. I give him a very high rating right now, but that doesn't mean he's perfect, guys. Just because he's a good president doesn't mean everything is perfect. And I would argue some of these mistakes that not really Trump has made, but the people around him and especially the people in Congress have made, and Trump is involved also, but guys, some of these mistakes should have been avoided. Some of these mistakes were dumb, and they hurt Trump politically. Now, I should be clear and say that he's not at negative 20. I know some Democrats and even some on the right and the mainstream media, they're claiming that Trump is right now at like negative 30 or whatever. He's not. When you look at the good pollsters, they have Trump at roughly 50-50 or just slightly below 50-50. Like, for example, Atlas Intel, they have a negative 5, and they're one of the best pollsters out there, but it's not negative 30. Rasmussen, a solid pollster, Trump plus 5. Echelon Insights plus 1. Quantus Insights, a very good pollster, plus 3. Emerson plus 2. So yeah, there are some polls that have Trump at negative 2 or negative 5, which, you know, that's not good. But at the same time, it's not like negative 50. And when you average out the good pollsters, when I say good, I'm talking about Echelon Insights, Quantus Insights, Atlas Intel, Emerson, etc. Well, right now, Trump is still positive. He's still at roughly plus 5, plus 4, somewhere in that range, like plus 4 or 5 as of now, which, especially for Trump, that is damn good. Because usually, with how divisive Trump can be, I mean, a lot of people don't like him. Even in his first term, his best numbers were like plus 1 for approval, and that lasted like 5 minutes. So the point is that Trump right now, it's still plus 5. And it's been a couple of months, but at the same time, I would argue that this is kind of disappointing. And I know that sounds crazy. Again, we're talking about Trump. His numbers have always been a little bit lower. But guys, right now, his numbers have clearly dropped. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It's clear. Just look at the numbers. And I know part of this is because of the honeymoon period. I get that. But it's not just, oh, disapproval went up because a lot of people that were unsure, they're saying they disapprove of Trump. That's one thing. If it was that, that's not the end of the world. The problem is, it's not just disapproval went up. Trump's approval has gone down. And that's why I'm a bit concerned. I'm a bit concerned that these numbers, again, they're not bad or whatever, but they are trending in the wrong direction. And with everything Trump has done the first couple of months, it should not be a plus 5. Like, again, it's still good for Trump, but right now, these numbers should be like plus 9, plus 10, plus 11, somewhere in that range. But as of now, it's not. And that's why I'm making this video, because these numbers, they're not as good as they should be. And there's a bunch of reasons why I believe it should be higher. Just look at egg prices, for example. Like, these two charts alone should be the reason Trump's numbers are way higher. Egg prices are going way down. And this chart's actually been outdated. Right now it's at like $3 per dozen. And look at this. Illegal border crossings down to record lows and by a huge margin. These two charts alone should give Trump plus 10, plus 11, plus 12. Because egg prices are going down and inflation as a whole is going down. Gas prices going down as well. Border crossings are way down. I mean, that's just a fact. But right now, Trump's numbers are going down. Even though some of the metrics we are getting, it is clear it is positive. And when you ask people in these polls what they think of Trump on immigration, they say he's doing a good job. It's like plus 15, plus 20. But it's not translating, and that's the big problem. Yeah, Trump is getting great numbers with egg prices, with inflation as a whole, gas prices. Everything is looking very good. The jobs report looked damn good. But despite all of that, his job approval is plus 4 or 5 when it should be plus 10. And that's because this administration and Republicans in Congress, they have been making a bunch of dumb mistakes that if they would have avoided, I would argue his number's not going to be at plus 50 or whatever, but they would probably be at plus 8, plus 9, plus 10. And some of these include, well, this list right here. Now, this isn't every single issue, and we'll get to the other issues in a second, but I would argue that this list of things right here, they give a good overview as to what's going wrong. Just an example, the Epstein files. That whole situation was a black eye, and I know the vast majority of people don't really care, but for the more hardcore base, they're furious. It's like, wait, you hype up the Epstein files this much, and then you give it to Jack Posobiec and Cernovich? And it's not even files that are new, it's the same old crap? Really? And you have those shitty binders? What the hell was that? That was a PR disaster. It was garbage, it hurt Trump way more than it helped, and it made me really question Pam Bondi. Is she really up to the job to be Attorney General? Now, mass deportations, I know this isn't really Trump's fault, but guys, we need more deportations. And I know people are going to say, well, there's a lot of people self-deporting, which is true. That's clear. A lot of people are leaving this country on their own accord. But at the same time, at the first couple of days of this administration, we had daily updates for the amount of people that got deported every single day. We knew how many were getting deported. The problem is, that's been gone for a month and a half. And that's because the numbers have gone way down. And part of that is because Congress is doing nothing. I mean, guys, the Republicans in Congress, I have no clue what they're trying to accomplish. But guess what? ICE needs money. They need money to deport people. Now, hopefully with the CR passing, this should amp up the mass deportations a little bit. But we were promised way more. And some people are kind of disappointed. It's like, oh, we're only averaging a couple thousand per day at most. We were expecting more. None of Trump's orders were codified yet. That was stupid. Guys, you have the leverage in Congress. Codify the cuts. I know you can't codify everything right now. I understand that. But guys, we only have a year before we get to 2026, and that's election cycle. And we're not going to really pass anything then. So pass it now. And I would argue, though, of everything Trump's administration has done as of now, their biggest mistake has been their messaging. Their messaging has been the biggest problem, especially when it comes to the economy. Now, listen, I know it's too early. You can't really say, well, it's Trump's economy. You can't say that. Anyone that's honest would say, no, this is Biden's economy. The economy sucks. You can't really blame Trump for how bad it is. But the problem is, for whatever reason, this administration is not talking about these charts. Like this chart right here. They don't talk about the price of eggs, and I know they post it on Twitter once a day. I get that. But the thing is, they don't talk about it 24/7. They're not saying, hey, egg prices went down by 50% in a couple of days, you know. Hey, gas prices continue to go way down. They don't talk about it as much as they should. And that, in my opinion, is the biggest problem. They talk about stuff that, yeah, it's important, but people want to hear updates on the economy. And all they hear from the mainstream media is, the economy is crashing, the stock market is way down, and Orange Man is bad. That's all they say. So yeah, of course people are going to say, oh, Trump is doing a bad job with the economy. Like, look at this. According to RCP, it's -7. -7 with the economy. Now, again, some of these polls are full of shit. Reuters, NBC News, Quinnipiac, they're pretty bad. They're full of shit. But at the same time, you got good ones like Emerson. They have a -11. That's a good pollster, and they're saying, Trump has not done a good job with the economy. Even though you look at the actual numbers and you realize, oh crap, his policies are already working. Inflation is going way down. The housing market is starting to rebound a little bit. And the jobs report, you dig into what jobs were actually gained, and these are high-paying manufacturing jobs that we gained. It's not the shitty part-time jobs that Biden gained that lasted 5 minutes. No, these are real, good-paying jobs. But for whatever reason, this administration, I don't know what it is, they don't talk about that. They talk a little bit about it, I should say. They talk for like 5 minutes about it, and then go on some random tangent about who knows. And that's the biggest problem. Guys, the reason Trump is going down the most is because of the economy. And this has been the biggest mistake with Trump right now. I know there's stuff I mentioned, they're kind of big, the mass deportations, we need more of that. Some of the Doge stuff has been dumb, guys. I like Musk, but some of the stuff he says, he just gotta shut up, all right? The way he talks about Doge, it's stupid. Congress hasn't done anything, I get that, but the economy is the #1 issue. Why do you think Biden sunk so much? Because the economy was awful. Now, what's keeping Trump afloat is immigration, which he's done a great job with, even though he should do even more with it, and foreign policy. That's what's keeping Trump afloat. If it wasn't for that, his numbers would sink, because the economic numbers right now, they're not good. Even though, if Trump's administration talked about it 24/7, all you have to say is, hey, inflation was supposed to go up like 2.9%. It went up by only 2.7%. We beat the expectations. The jobs report, very strong. Inflation is going down. Gas prices are going way down. Everything is going down. We're making America more affordable. But they're not. I don't get this. I don't get what this administration is doing. Again, I'm not saying they haven't talked about it, but it should be their #1 talking point. Yes, immigration is important. Yes, foreign policy. Yes, all this other stuff. That stuff's important. That stuff is keeping Trump popular because people like what he's doing. But at the same time, it's not sustainable. If the economy is dog shit, it doesn't matter how popular you are with immigration. People are going to say, yeah, Trump's done a great job with the border, but I can't buy a house. I can't buy food. I can't do anything. I have a shitty job. Even though the numbers are indicating that, oh, Trump's policies, even in a couple of months, it's working. Trump should focus more on that. Focus on, hey, the economy is starting to rebound. It's starting to gain momentum. And every time he does that, I do think it helps him. It gives him some positive news. Because the media, all they talk about is the economy, how bad it is. That's all they talk about. And Orange Man bad. And no one cares for the Orange Man bad stuff. That's not what people care about. They care about the economy. And if they're being told by everyone that the economy sucks, it's shitty, it's not getting better, Trump is a failure, some people are going to say, yeah, the economy is bad. And Trump is not putting much effort into it, even though there's been a lot of executive orders signed to focus on the economy. So if I'm in the Trump administration, all I'm going to say is, hey guys, change your messaging. Talk about how the economy is starting to rebound, how inflation is going down, how gas prices are going down, how everything is going down, despite the fact that everyone was saying, oh, tariffs are going to increase prices by 80%. Even though in reality, inflation went down lower than expected. So that's all Trump had to do. That's all Trump's administration has to do. But they're not doing it right now. But I hope that some people wake up and say, okay, we gotta talk more about the economy. This is the one issue that is really killing Trump. It's the economy. It's inflation. Immigration, you got secured. Even Bernie Sanders is praising Trump for it, which should tell you everything, by the way.
Yeah, I think cracking down on fentanyl, making sure our borders are stronger. Look, nobody thinks that illegal immigration is appropriate.
If Bernie Sanders is forced to admit that Trump was right and that he's doing a good job, yeah, the vast majority of people agree with what Trump is doing. But at the same time, that can only get you so far. If the economy sucks, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. People are going to say, I don't care what you do at the border. I can't afford food. I can't buy a house. I can't buy a car. Yeah, so people are not going to support you. But with that in mind, I do believe that if the economy really gets going, and I think it will, I think by the end of the year especially, the economy will start booming again. If that happens, Trump's numbers are going to skyrocket. People got to understand that the only reason he's not a +10 or +15 right now is because the economy and inflation. Right now, it's still bad. But if he gets both of those under control, gets the economy going, gets inflation under control, his numbers are going to surge. Because the economy is the only thing holding Trump back. And if he gets that resolved, his numbers are going to skyrocket to like +15. Again, the only reason he's doing so bad, which is not really bad, I mean, for Trump's standards, +5 is good, like I was saying. But the only reason he's at +5 and not +15 is because a lot of people are saying, yeah, Trump has done a great job with immigration, but the economy right now still is bad. And I'm not a big fan of the economy, so I gotta blame Trump for it, which is common sense. Like, yeah, when you elect someone, you expect them to deal with the economy, and if the economy sucks, they're gonna blame you for it. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.